Hey, it's Midnight Raven, and today we are going to do another episode of Shit Happens. So far, I've done 3 videos on this. We've done Shit Happens, Oh Dear, we've done Shit Happens, Oh No Not Again, and Shit Happens, Why to Me. Now, this is the 4th installment in the series. A lot of you have been loving these videos. Basically, Shit Happens is a game that you play with 2 or more players. Preferably, you can play it by yourself. And the idea, if you were playing the game at home, would be you scale cards on how serious they are, whether you believe that seeing your father naked is worse than your phone falling in the toilet. They all have these numbers on each of the cards, and the idea is to scale whether they'd be higher or lower. But as I'm playing it with you, we're going to take a look at the cards, see what the number is, and see whether we agree or disagree. Now, I've done this 3 times before, and everybody has been loving these videos. You've literally gone crazy. Obviously, this series will only last as long as I have enough cards in here. So, let's see what we get this time. So, in my hand, I have 15 randomly picked cards from the box. And we are going to see what shit happens this time. So, card number 1. If you want to check out the other 3, I will link a playlist at the end. So, card number 1 is a fart turns into a shart. So basically, you fart, and instead of just passing wind, you follow through and you accidentally poo your pants. Now, this is 16.5. Now, I mean, it could be slightly embarrassing depending on how much you poop, I guess. I've never done it personally. I don't know if it's a thing that happens regularly or often to people. I can say I've safely never heard of anyone doing it. But 16.5 probably sounds about right. It's not that embarrassing, is it, really? I suppose it depends where you are, who you're with, maybe. Whether it's your child doing it or whether it's an adult, maybe. So it's probably more the person would be embarrassed than anybody else around them. I don't know if they would be as embarrassed, but that's card number 1. Comment down below if you beg to differ, or you can comment in the sidebar if you're watching this as a premiere. Number 2 is brain freeze, 19.5. Now, this is on a scale of 0 being mild and non-insignificant to 100 being the worst pain you've ever felt and the most embarrassing you could ever have. So 19.5. Now, I've had brain freeze before, and all you do for brain freeze, I was told as an old wives' tale by my nan, was to put your tongue into the roof of your mouth and kind of bear down and push your tongue through the roof of your mouth to get rid of brain freeze. I don't know if that works. I can't say I really took much notice of when she said it. I was like, oh, my head hurts, brain freeze. And she was like, stick the tongue to your roof of your mouth. And you're like, okay. But apparently it really does work. Brain freeze, 19.5. I would say it's probably about right. It's not going to kill you. I mean, it's only brain freeze. Yes, it'd probably give you a little bit of a headache. And you'll probably feel a bit, but it's not going to hurt you. So that one is probably about right. Caught nose picking. Embarrassment. Basically 2. Yeah, no one is going to die from this. Yeah, it can be a bit embarrassing if you're caught. I mean, kids do it all the time. All you do is you tell them if they pick it enough, the bogeyman will get them. That's what I was used to be told. You know, as kids, you're more, it's not really I suppose you're not told that it's kind of, I want to say you shouldn't do it, but sometimes, you know, it happens. Question number 4. Ketchup bottle stuck up your butt. Now, you can take this anywhere you like. I don't know in what situation a ketchup bottle would find its way into your bottom. Maybe a fight in a kebab shop, maybe. An argument in the kitchen, maybe you slip and knock the bottle off the table and somehow land on it. I would say it's probably going to be painful. I don't dispute 78 being about right. I mean, I think the situation of how you got it into your butt is probably going to hurt more than the pain. The fact that you're going to be ridiculed and laughed at will probably hurt a lot more. But 78, maybe that's about right. Maybe a little higher. I mean, you got to live with that. And I don't know how you'd end up like this. But if you have any idea how a ketchup bottle would end up there, keep it clean if you can. Obviously, he's not clean, but fun nonetheless. Next one, shit your pants in public. Now, we kind of had this one earlier where a fart turns into a shit, but this is like actually defecating in your pants completely. Now, 30 seems quite low. I mean, if I was to do that in public, I'd be well embarrassed. I mean, I would expect it to be 60. I'd be embarrassed like, maybe it does. It's not going to cause you any pain, but it's more the embarrassment and the shame. It depends who you're with. If you're with your partner, oh my God, or your family, or out with your friends, or out with your kids, oh my God. Would you live it down? Would you live shitting your pants down in public? Throwing up in public would probably be fine. But shitting your pants, I think that's on a new scale of awkwardness. Probably a little bit higher. We're moving along. Okay, this one. Drinking curdled milk, 29. Now, me, personally, I don't drink milk at all. I absolutely hate the smell of milk, the taste of milk. Just milk in general makes me feel sick. Just not very good. Obviously, maybe goat's milk or soy milk probably wouldn't. But this is obviously curdled milk. Yeesh. I mean, I've tipped a bottle out in the fridge before when it's been curdled and blob, 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 and it just gloops out and you're like, ooh. But obviously milk, curdled milk eventually turns into butter, so, interesting one. But 29, I think that's probably a little bit high. I mean, yes, it would make you probably feel off, you might throw up. That would probably be more embarrassing as the actual throwing up than rather drinking it. Drinking it would probably be like, but the actual sickness would probably be more actual throwing up. That would probably be more embarrassing. So I think this is a little high. Like I said, if you think different, do comment down below. I do love reading all your comments. And I do feature comments in a video called Comments with Raven, which is where I look back over the nice comments you've given me. And that way it gives out your channel a shout out. Next one, chronic insomnia. Oh my God, I've had some days where I've been so overtired, I'm awake, and you just sit there in bed wanting to fall asleep, and it just never happens. You're like staring at the ceiling, like, oh, I'm so tired. I used to have chronic insomnia more when I was younger than older. It was more like my brain just wouldn't switch off so I could sleep. I was always thinking or doing something or had some kind of plan in my head, and my brain was always going 20 miles, 100 miles to the hour. I think that's probably about right. Insomnia isn't bad for you. I mean, it's not good for you to be tired constantly. Sometimes oversleeping is bad for you, always sleeping is bad for you, and obviously always being awake is a bad thing as well. So I actually think this is probably about right. I would say about 50-50. Next one, lawnmower mangles foot, 81.5. Yeek. Now, I hurt myself on a rake before. There was a rake laid down in the garden, and I stood on that with bare feet. with just socks on. I was walking through the garden and didn't notice it. Stood on this rake and hit myself straight in the face with it. And I did cut slightly the under bottom of my foot. But a lawnmower mangling your foot? Ooh, that would make me want to wear steel toe caps outside. I don't know how you mangle your own foot. Is this a lawnmower just going by itself? Or did someone run you over? You can't mangle your own foot with a lawnmower because it would be in front of you. So either someone's running you over, which is really nice of them, or you have a possessed lawnmower, which also needs looking at. But 81.5, I would say that's probably a bit low. I'd say it's more like 90. It's got to be the worst pain you've ever felt. It has to be. You can't just have your foot... Maybe if it was chopped off, maybe it'd be worse. Tongue frozen to a lamppost. Oh, haven't you always wanted to do this? Haven't you always sat there when it's freezing cold outside and icy and just be like, I'll just stick my tongue against that lamppost? I've seen loads of people do it on YouTube. And all that happens is when you take your tongue off, it all bleeds really badly. And some of your tongue can actually get stuck on the lamppost. As fun as that sounds. 25.5. I would say that hurts a lot more. I mean, I don't know what would possess you to do it unless you were like dead. I can't see you just walking home one night and going, oh, you know what? It's freezing cold. I'm going to stick my tongue on that lamppost. It's more like a dare. So hopefully you've had a lot of alcohol. And when you rip your tongue off there, you won't notice because probably going to hurt. More than likely. I would guarantee it's going to hurt. And I would say this is a bit low. Next one. Ooh, so much fun. If you're having fun, big thumbs up it as well. Let's keep going. Partner has herpes. Well, never had herpes myself. I don't know anyone that's actually had herpes. That's probably a good thing. 54. Herpes are meant to be uncomfortable and painful. But I don't think they're like the most pain you can have. They're not like 100 or that kind of thing. I just think 54, sort of halfway, is probably about right. I think it would probably be more embarrassing. I know it's meant to be uncomfortable and itchy and just basically an irritation more than anything. And it's unsightly, obviously. But 54 sounds about right. I think you'd be more embarrassed for you and your partner rather than like widespread embarrassment, unless you told somebody else or your partner and your family find out. So 54, probably about right. Maybe a bit less. I've never had herpes to comment. Adrift with Charlie Sheen must drink his urine, 70.5. If you drunk Charlie Sheen's urine, you'd at least be drunk at sea. 99% proof there at least. I mean, he's a raging alcoholic, isn't he, Charlie Sheen? He's been in rehab, he has a sex addiction, God knows what's in his urine. 70.5, I'd say that's probably higher. I mean, there's a risk of sexually transmitted diseases, a risk of infection maybe, being 99% alcohol in his system more than likely. He's usually drunk. 70.5. I mean, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit higher. I can't say that Charlie Sheen would be my first person I'd like to be adrift with on a boat. And drinking his urine, no, not so much. Not liking that idea. Okay, what's this one? Ooh, couple more to go. 2-week migraine, 48.5. Now, I've had migraines before that have lasted a couple of days. I haven't had anything that's lasted like a week. I've had like a 48-hour migraine sometimes from like when I've gone to like parties or clubs or something and got a headache and it seemed to just drag on. But a 2-week migraine, that's got to be painful. It's got to be like disorientating, and obviously you probably don't sleep, so you get some of the chronic insomnia. It 48.5 is probably a bit high. A headache can be annoying, but I don't know whether it'd be that painful or that make you that miserable. It seems a lot. This is kind of on the same scale as what else do we have that's been fairly chronic insomnia was 50, shit in your pants was 30. So I don't know. It seems a little bit high for them, but migraines can be really painful and irritating. I get that. Like I said, if you beg to differ, comment down below or comment in the Premiere bar. Pepper spray in eyes, 23.5. Now, I've seen people being pepper sprayed on the TV, on YouTube, and this is low. Apparently, it's like sticking fire in your eyeballs. How can that be 23.5? It's meant to be itchy and painful, and some people say it's the most pain they've ever had. Some people say they would say it's more painful than childbirth. I beg to differ. But this seems really low. I mean, I haven't been pepper sprayed before, but I've seen people on YouTube and in films and that get pepper sprayed, and on police dramas. And when they get pepper sprayed, God, they look like they're in pain. They literally look like they want to curl up in a ball and just die. So I believe this is a bit low. If you feel different, comment down below. It's all about the fun. Your father has a sex change, 67. Now, again, I think this is more embarrassing than painful. Obviously, it's not happening to you. Would you be offended if your dad changed sex and wanted to be a woman? If my dad wanted to be a woman right now, I'd probably laugh. I'd find it funny, but would I be like, nah? I don't think I'd care. I mean, my dad wants a sex change, go ahead. You only live once after all. 67 on misery. I don't know. In modern day society, would it be that crazy if your dad said he wanted a sex change? It might be a little bit out there, a little bit wacky, but I don't see it'd be any problem. In this day and age, people do crazy shit all the time. I mean, take YouTube for an example. And the last one is non-consensual bear sex while caught in a bear trap. You can't make these up. Here we go. Non-consensual bear sex while caught in a bear trap. 98.5. OMG. I didn't put a disclaimer at the front of this, but the title says shit happens. I mean, come on, people. If you can't laugh at this, then, you know, the whole bears in the wood having a tea party. This is slightly a bit more in your face than a tea party in the woods. You know, if you go down to the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. Yes, I'm sure you are if you're caught in a bear trap with a... I mean, look at that bear. Does he look innocent? Maybe. So 98.5. I'd say it's 100. I mean, would you want to be caught in a bear trap with a bear? And then get raped by a bear? That's a hard one. Probably was. Yeah, I'd say 100. Just 100 it. I mean, it's a bear. You're in a bear trap already. That's painful. Then you see a bear come after you. That's probably fairly awful. And then you're literally raped by a bear. Yeah, you're having a bad day. So, what have we learned today? Well, we've learned about bear sex, your father having a sex change, pepper spraying. We've learned about a ketchup bottle up the butt. Still don't know how that happens. Brain freeze, curdled milk, and loads of other crazy ass shit, I suppose. So, If you enjoyed this and you want to see the other 3 parts, please comment down below that you enjoyed these videos. Give me a big thumbs up. You can get this from many stores. We've had this about a year, so it's a fairly new game. Although I haven't seen anyone playing it on YouTube, which is good because it's my series. But if you want to like, subscribe to me and follow me, that would be nice. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well, the Midnight Raven. If you want to follow me on Smule, it's Hot Midnight Raven. And like I said before, there are 3 other parts to this. It will be linked at the end. Comment down below any of your answers to these. I'd love to know what you think. And remember, if you comment down below, you have a chance to be featured in another comments video where I then promote your channel because you gave me a nice message. So, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to me, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye!